My God, what is going on? It has been ages since I made a video. In my defense, I was studying for this thing, for this certification thing for work. So I've been like really busy for the past month. Haven't really. I mean, I've been out there like buying comics and stuff, but just haven't really had time to make a video. Um, so anyway, I've got Lord knows a bunch of books I can show. Um, and I found some cool stuff. Like, okay, I was at my mom's a few weeks ago, and she had like a box of my stuff that was sitting in the garage. And one one of the things that was in there was this like little stand-up promotional thing for, um, I guess it was just like a Vertigo promotional thing for Death. Um, I don't even know what it was put out for because obviously it came out after the two little miniseries that they did because it's advertising like a hardcover version of the second one. So I don't know. I don't really remember, but I do remember getting this. There's this store that had it, and I guess they were going to throw it away or something. And I just asked them if I could have it, and they were like, "Yeah, sure. If you want it, you can take it." So I always thought that was kind of cool. Just one of those things, you know, one of those things you end up with, and I still have it, like 25 years later. Anyway, I got a couple of books from this one store. They were doing like a little in-store sale or convention or something like that, uh, but it wasn't really like the two books that I got weren't on sale. So the price tags that you see are the price that I actually paid for them. This one was $25. Daredevil number 105, the second appearance of Moondragon and her origin, and the first time she's actually called Moondragon since originally when she first appeared in Iron Man number 54, she was called Madame McEvil, which sounds like a joke name. But there you go. And it's pretty cool. I flipped through. It's in pretty solid shape. I mean, it's a nice mid grade book. You can see it's got kind of a spine roll going, but that could be pressed out, I'm sure. A little wavy in places, but it's all together. It's in pretty nice shape. One little ding in the spine there. Um, I actually looked through it, and it's cool. It looked like there's like the issue is broken down into separate sort of chapters, and the middle one is her origin story, and it looks like it was plotted by Jim Starlin. So I guess in a way, it's kind of like he was still kind of building all the ideas he had for his or what became his Thanos saga. Speaking of which, the second book that I got, paid $40 for it. Captain Marvel number 28. There's the man himself grinning from the cover. Um, I have a copy of Captain Marvel 25, and now I have 28. So I need to get it's like two parts out of the main body, I guess you could say, of the Thanos saga, which is what Captain Marvel 25 to 33, I think. I also have the a graded 9.2 copy of the Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 2, where Thanos dies, so that's the end of it. And there's like an Avengers Annual, and I think Avengers number 125 is also part of it. And there's other bits and pieces. Obviously Iron Man number 55, but I don't have that, and it's a little bit out of my price range at the moment. But it's okay. I'll get there one day. And again, really solid mid-grade copy. This one's probably even nicer than the Daredevil. It's got some minor spinding or wear on the staple, a little bit of color rub, but overall, it looks really nice. Okay, so there's that. And then there's the comic book convention that I went to this past weekend, just to kind of check it out and see like what was there. Um, all right, so I got a big stack of books to show for that. First up, let me move these out of the way. I got a handful of 50-cent books that I got, and I was kind of happy to find. Got a copy of Infinity Inc. number 16. They had several different issues from Infinity Inc. in the 50-cent box, but this is the only one they had that was drawn by Todd McFarlane, so I couldn't leave it there at that price. Found a copy of Sleepwalker number 2. The funny thing about this series, and this is, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure I'm not, this is the first appearance of 8-Ball. It's just one of those random minor villains that shows up every once in a while, usually to give the hero somebody to beat up. But the funny thing about Sleepwalker is I have the first issue of Sleepwalker, and I thought I'd gotten the entire series up to, I think the last issue I got was the one with like the Halloween mask cover that you could, I guess, cut out and turn into a Halloween mask. I thought I had the entire run up through there, but apparently I only got the first issue, and then I started picking it up again around issue, I don't know, 8, something like that. So I didn't have this one. So might as well pick it up. Also 50 cents, copy of X-Men number 1, the first appearance of Nate Gray. That is his name, right? I'm pretty sure it is. I haven't read it yet. And one of my favorite finds from the convention, and certainly my favorite of the 50-cent books, and don't pay any attention to the price tag that's on it, because I did pay 50 cents for it. These 4 books I got for 50 cents, paid $2 for all of them. Found a copy of The New Guardians number 2, the first appearance of Snowflame, the only cocaine-powered supervillain. I think it's just absolutely hilarious that such a thing even exists. It's hard to believe, but Steve Englehart, I guess, wanted to create a socially conscious story about drug use, but I'm not so sure that was the best way to go about it. But anyway, we're all grateful because it gave us Snowflame. Alright, so there's that, and then we got some dollar books. These are all $1 a piece. This is a lot of these are just run fillers, and like Ghost Rider number 10 from the second series. Trying to finish out the run. I think I have maybe 3 or 4 issues out of the first, up to the Rise of the Midnight Suns. I have all that, and then I have most of what came before it. So yeah, there's that. Copy of Marvel Comics Presents number 82, one of the Barry Windsor Smith Weapon X issues. I want to get all these. I have 72, and then I have this one, so I need to fill in that run. I just thought this was a cool cover. I like Marvel Fanfare as a series. It's just a nice Captain America cover. It has kind of a George Perez feel in a way to it, although it was not drawn by him. I forget the artist, but anyway. And then I found a bunch of Teen Titans issues, new Teen Titans. So we got number 17, number 18. Let's make some room. What is that, number 20? My second copy of number 21, but for $1 I couldn't leave the first appearance of Brother Blood and Madam Knight and Night Force, and I think there's a couple others in there as well. Number 22. And number 23. And since I was on the subject of Night Force, I saw this in there and thought I might as well grab that for $1 as well. First issue of Night Force, which is kind of cool, drawn by Gene Colan. So I guess it's his follow-up to Tomb of Dracula, maybe. He's the one who did that, right? I need to brush up my comic knowledge. It's been a while. Anyway. Okay, so there is another booth where I'm kind of friends with the lady who runs it. So I feel like I kind of paid a bit too much for this one. Spider Woman number 37, the first appearance of Siren, especially in light of something that I found a little bit later during the show. And then I found Vengeance of Bane number 1. The thing is, when I bought this, I thought I was getting a great deal on the first appearance of Bane. Only when I got home, I noticed that if you look in the corner there, there's a little Roman numeral 3 there, so it's actually a third print. It's not the end of the world. It's like on Comic Book Realm, it's listed as a scarce third print, and I looked on eBay, and it does seem to go for between $30 to $40. So I guess it's not. It could be worse, but I wasn't really looking for a third print. I would have preferred to have a first print, which I don't have. But oh well, what can you do? I'll get it at some point. All right, so there's that, and then the next stack is all stuff that I got at one particular booth. And everything that I got from this booth was half of the sticker price. So, and I really need to rebag and board these because you can tell they're really like wrinkly. But yeah, like this for example, Moon Knight number 24, gorgeous Bill Sienkiewicz cover with the negative space. I really love the way that looks. It's marked $2. I got it for $1. So yeah, and I don't know, this character, Stained Glass Scarlet, I don't know if this is her first appearance or not. It might be. But anyway, I had to grab that. I got a copy of House of Mystery number 303. Nothing particularly special about this issue. I think it's just the start of a run of iVampire stories in this title. But it's not his first appearance. That's, I don't know, like 290 or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Found a copy of Machine Man number 2, the Barry Windsor Smith series. Again, Barry Windsor Smith, one of my all-time favorite comic artists. And I have issues 3 and 4. Still need to find a copy of number 1, which is the first appearance of Arno Stark, and unfortunately people noticed that within the past few months, and it's suddenly harder to find. But I'll come across it at some point. And a copy of Batman number 25 from the New 52, and this was just, I think when I was originally getting this series, when it came out, I stopped getting it at issue 24 because the cover price on it was just getting ridiculous. Like this one, I don't even know if the cover price is on it. Well, it is, but it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, the cover price is $5. I don't know. I just wasn't really prepared to pay that at the time. And, I mean, I guess now, however many years later, I got it for cover price. But, yeah, so there's that. And then, let's see. I got a bunch of Batman run fillers that I needed. So we got number 411, number 412, 414, 416, which is kind of cool. The first meeting between Dick Grayson and Jason Todd, minor key. 425. 434, the middle part of a John Byrne story. I have the other two parts. And this next one is an upgrade for me because I already have this, but this is a better copy. 475, the first appearance of Renee Montoya. It does have like a little nick in the cover up there, but otherwise it's in pretty nice shape. All right, so what else we got? This is cool. Speaking of John Byrne, we got this Silver Surfer book that he did. I think it's just a one-shot, but yeah, that's kind of cool. I forget what year that came out. Early 80s, maybe. Found a copy of DC Comics Presents number 85, the Alan Moore story with Superman and Swamp Thing. Very happy to find that. Let's see. Okay, we got a couple of these. Got a couple of Master of Kung Fu spec books here. We got number 29, which is the first appearance of his half sister, I believe, who is also like the daughter of Fu Manchu. Something like that. I don't think they're going to have Fu Manchu in the Shang-Chi movie. And if they have this dude with the sword hands, they're definitely not going to dress him like that. So, and then there's also number 33, which is the first appearance of, I guess, this villain with the bullet eyes, and like another character who's like a intelligence agent, maybe something like that, who I think might be a love interest. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, definitely just kind of cool to find those for relatively cheap. I mean, they might not be cheap for too long. Found this. It's a mid-grade copy, but very cool to have. Classic cover, Wolverine number 8, with Wolverine and Joe Fixit as mob enforcers or something like that. That's pretty cool. Okay. And then at the same booth, I also found a bunch of Spider-Woman run fillers. And I've been working on this run as well. Well, when I say working on it, I mean like a couple of years ago, I found a bunch of issues for cheap. And then this past weekend, I found these issues for cheap. So, like on 2 occasions, I've put a dent in my Spider-Woman collection. And then on one other occasion, I got her first issue. So we got number 11. We got number 13. 14. 16. 18. You just gotta be able to appreciate finding cheap Bronze Age books. Issue 20, which is cool. It's our first meeting with Spider-Man. In continuity, anyway. I looked that one up. And again, this is the main reason I regret buying Spider-Woman number 37 from the first booth, is because I found a much cheaper copy of it. And I looked at them. The other one may be slightly nicer, but it's not a huge difference. So, I don't know. I may take one of these to my LCS and see if I can get some trade-in credit for it. And they would probably be willing to do that. And then the 2 coolest books that I found at this booth, we got Richard Dragon Kung Fu Fighter number 1, first appearance of the Bronze Tiger. Paid $7 for that. And The Brave and the Bold number 200, the first appearance of Katana. Paid $6 for that. And this one does have, like, it looks like something was set on top of it, and it's got like some little minor gouges in the cover. But you know, for $6, I saw this on the wall at one book at one local store for 100. So um, definitely not going to complain about that. All right, so there was one other book that I picked up at the show. My main LCS had a booth there, and I didn't really buy anything from them because mostly they brought Silver Age stuff, and we're just showing that. And like I was hoping to get away without spending a huge amount, but I was talking to the owner because we know each other, we go way back, and at one point he had a copy of The Killing Joke on the wall, which I have a seventh print of The Killing Joke, which is a little bit beat up because I read it over and over when I was a teenager. So I asked him how much his copy of the first print was, just out of curiosity. He took it down, told me it was $100. Let me look at it. I was like, well, you know, I'm thinking to myself, you know, for $100, I'm not going to buy this. But it's just kind of cool to look at it, especially since it's been getting so much heat because of the Joker movie coming out soon. And then he said, I also have a, graded 9.6 that I have for 180. So let me show you that too. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Definitely not going to spend 180 on it. But I thought it would be kind of cool to just kind of compare the two and look at, you know, how the spine on the raw book looked compared to the one on the graded. See if I could discern any fingerprint smudges or anything like that. Just looking at the differences and seeing what they would be. So he pulled out the 9.6 and he looked at it and he goes, oh, well, I guess you could have that one, the raw one, for $100, or you could have this one for $100. So what can I say? He got me. We got my brand new 9.6 copy of Batman: The Killing Joke, the first print, with the gold cufflink and the purple whatever that is necktie. Classic book, classic Brian Bolland cover. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, it's still in the plastic. Sorry about that. There's a bit of a glare, but yeah. What does that say? Joker cripples Barbara Gordon, embossed cover, etc. Yeah. So I got that. Couldn't pass it up. An extra $100 I spent that I probably shouldn't have, but you know, oh well. Anyway, that was my haul from the weekend. This has been going for 23 minutes now, so I'm going to cut it off. Sorry I was gone for so long. I will try to be back soon with more. I could show plenty of new books that I've gotten over the past month and a half, maybe, I don't know. So I'll try to upload this soon, make it available. If you like, hey, cool. Please like the video, please subscribe, etc. And I'll see everybody next time.